Well, hello, YouTubers. Reloading Bench back with you once again on this beautiful Sunday weekend. It's early evening now, but it wasn't when I was at the range. And I think I told you during my 1911 cleaning video that when I come back from the range, I clean my brass, not my pew-pew. So today was a great range day, beautiful day. It was 90 plus, a little on the hot side. Summer's here. Shot maybe 50 to 60 rounds. Planted some freedom seeds. I had a welcome gift waiting for me on my bench when I arrived. I will use the primer, the head, and the brass, but not the powder because I don't know what's in it, so I'll take it apart. But the reason for this short video is my little helper's aid here. And this video is a bit of a rant about safety on the range. And as of late, there's a lot of new shooters. And that's great to see, really is. Grows the sport. But it's amazing how many people will show up to the range, usually with a significant other. And that the male portion of the couple is usually the one doing the leading, not always, but usually, in terms of teaching. And it's always interesting to hear the level of expertise. When I go with my shooting partner, I refer to it as the blind leading the blind, or dumb and dumber. And that's the sad part, because folks don't practice at home. No dummy rounds, no dry firing, no anything. Or put live rounds in a pew and teach somebody how to use it. A little scary, especially for first timers. But anyway, where I'm going with this is safety on the range. And anytime there's new people to the left or right of me or us, I'm very cognizant. I'll take a step back if I'm, if it's not during a ceasefire and they're just coming up to their benches and getting all situated. Try and assess the level of competence that from our safety or my safety's perspective of how worried do I need to be. And there were some new shooters on my left today. Not new, newer, new and experienced. There was an older couple, probably my age, with what is their son and his girlfriend, and obviously he's in his 20s because he's a pew-pew owner. So they were setting up, and it was obvious that the older woman had not shot before, and they were helping her, and the younger ones and the older gentleman had. And after watching, I'm like, okay, they know what they're doing. I'm not worried about going home with more holes than I arrived. And what was actually kind of funny was, to my right, another couple arrived, and the range officer made an issue of telling her, because she was in open-toed sandals and she had a really low-cut a t-shirt with a giant, she had more showing than covered up, and it was kind of sad and funny all at the same time, because he's trying to tell her about, just be careful, because she was definitely a new shooter, especially hearing her significant other talk to her. The range officer was telling her, hey, if hot brass touches you, put the gun down, don't react, don't freak out. He said it'll hurt. I told her later, it's not going to hurt, it's going to burn. There's a difference. Yeah, there'll be some pain there, but it's more of a sting burn, and, at least in my opinion. And I even picked up a piece of hot brass that was shot from the other couples that were shooting to my left, picked it up, let her hold it, and she was like, wow, that's hot. I'm like, yeah, and that's been on the ground for 30 seconds. So no sooner than the range officer had talked to her during ceasefire than the couple, the two couples, the older couple and the younger couple. The older couple, the woman had a piece of brass land under her glasses, so it lodged on her, underneath her eye, and burned her. And not 30 seconds later, after the range officer, see, that's what I was talking about, the young boy who had his t-shirt tucked in had brass go, and it was not a V-neck, but t-shirt with a round circular neck. He had a piece of brass go under his shirt, and he freaked out a little bit. Obviously, they didn't do anything dangerous with the gun. But where I'm going with this was I decided to take a break from all the activities and the festivity of the liveliness of safety, and I decided to walk the range. And I went over to the rifle area, and just curious me, what are people shooting today? And it was definitely Evil Black Rifle Day, and this is where I'm going with my aid here. So as I was walking down, and I was in back of the benches as opposed to 10 feet away. As I was walking down, I saw a light come at me just like that, and then it went back over. And I thought to myself, oh, somebody's got some issues with their pew-pew, their rifle, and they're checking it with their flashlight. And as I came up to the bench, I realized, no, it was not somebody with their flashlight and looking at their rifle. It was somebody with their handgun that was mounted to, the light was mounted to the bottom of the rail. So that means for a light that should have been facing forward, if it came to me to where I could see the actual light, that means the barrel was also looking at me. And when I walked past the guy with the gun, older gentleman, older maybe my age, I thought to myself, all right, do I make an issue of it or not? So some people will say you should have said something because of safety reasons and whatnot. I just didn't feel like getting into it with the guy, because I'm sure as soon as I would have said something, he would have said, no, I didn't. Because usually people, we've had this happen before where, hey, don't point your gun at me. I didn't point at you. Okay, I saw you point. No, I didn't. Okay, I'm just not going to get into it with you. But the fact that and what's funny is he turned the light off. So as I'm looking at it, he turned the light off, or he turned it and then turned it off. Couldn't tell which one, because I was, again, as I walked up to him and I saw it, or walked past him rather, and I saw it, I was like, holy shit, that was and it was a 1911. And because it was in battery, I have no idea if that was a loaded gun or not. So I got swept at the range by an idiot. And I see this all the time. Instead of pointing their shit downrange, newer people, anytime they have an issue, they seem to take the gun instead of pointing it downrange. They, oh, what's going on? Well, they look at it and, oh, what's going on? And they'll point it this way. They'll point it that way. Every way except downrange. And because I saw the light, literally, I didn't even give it a second thought. Thought it was a flashlight, and he was looking, kind of like the range officers do in his barrel or something. But no, I got swept, and no idea if I got swept with a live pew-pew or not. But I thought it ironic that I got away from all the drama on the pistol area and went over to kind of browse the rifle side to see what was going on. And an idiot with a 1911, and first of all, it's daylight. You're not going to see shit with your 1911 and your flashlight, so I don't even know why you would have that on in the first place, unless he was tinkering. But again, you were tinkering by pointing at people. You were pointing at people with your light. So, yeah, it's no fun to get swept. I wasn't exactly next to him. I was probably 3 benches down. Still the whole act of seeing the light meant the barrel was pointed towards me. And, the message is be careful out there, because there is just no shortage of idiots. Idiots that don't know any better, don't have any common sense. And it's really hard to, when an accident happens, how much it does I'm sorry work when you are, have a hole in you and you're bleeding. So mental note to self, don't walk so close behind the idiots in the range when you don't have to. Go behind the fence and look from afar if you're that interested, because, again, I take it for granted that when you're on the rifle area that you're not going to get swept with a pistol, but they do allow pistols from a seated position on the rifle side. So caught off guard, a little not shaken, not stirred, and just irritated that people are stupid and they don't know what they have in their hands and what it can do. And all it's going to take is some idiot doing something stupid, and then the range is closed, and the rest of us can't enjoy planting freedom seeds any longer. So, rant over. Take care. Enjoy the rest of the weekend.